Welcome to the Fishbowl with Jade. Thank you for being here. I don't take your presence lightly because time is something you can never get back. So go ahead, put on your scuba gear because today we're diving deep. Let me ask you something. When did celebrities become our standard for how to live? Not just people we admire, but people we expect to be flawless. Because somewhere along the way, we stopped just enjoying talent and started assigning responsibility. We turned entertainers into examples. We turned visibility into influence, and we turned influence into expectation. From a psychological perspective, this isn't random. Humans are wired to look for models. We learn through observation. We look at people who are visible, successful, and admired, and we begin to attach meaning to them. If they are talented, we assume they must be disciplined. If they are famous, we assume they must be doing something right. If they are celebrated, we assume they are worthy of imitation. That's how the brain simplifies complexity. It connects success to character, even when those two things are not the same. But here's where the problem begins. Celebrities did not sign up to be your moral compass. They signed up to act, sing, perform, entertain, build brands. Yet the moment they gain visibility, we place them on a pedestal they never agreed to stand on. And once someone is on a pedestal, the fall is not just expected, it's watched. Socially, we participate in something called idealization and devaluation. We build people up, project our values onto them, and when they show us they are human, we tear them down. Not because they changed, but because our expectations were unrealistic to begin with. And let's be honest, the same audience that praises a celebrity for being real is often the same audience that punishes them when their truth doesn't align with theirs. That's where beliefs come in: religion, politics, values. The moment a celebrity speaks on any of these, they stop being entertainment and become divisive. Now, they're not just an artist, they're a position. And depending on where you stand, they are either applauded or dragged. So now the question becomes, should celebrities stay quiet to protect their image? Or do they have the right to express themselves, knowing it may cost them support? Psychologically, people don't just react to disagreement, they react to identity threat. When someone you admire believes something different than you, it doesn't just feel like disagreement, it feels like betrayal. Because now you have to reconcile two things at once. I like what they do, but I don't like what they believe. And that tension makes people uncomfortable. So what do people do? They pick a side. They either cancel the person or they separate the person from the work. And that brings us to one of the most debated questions. Can you separate the art from the artist? Because we've all heard it. I don't agree with what they did, but I still support their work. From a psychological standpoint, this is cognitive compartmentalization. It's the mind's way of reducing discomfort. You create two categories. In one category, the person is flawed, problematic, or even wrong. In the other, their talent still holds value to you. And by separating the two, you allow yourself to continue engaging without fully confronting the conflict. But not everyone can do that. For some, the person and the work are inseparable. The behavior impacts the meaning of the art. The character impacts the consumption. And for them, support feels like endorsement. Socially, this creates division. One group says, I can separate it. Another says, I can't support that at all. And both believe they are justified. So now we're not just talking about celebrities anymore. We're talking about standards. Why do we expect more from people we don't know than sometimes the people we do? Why are we quicker to hold a public figure accountable than to look at the influence within our own homes, our own communities, our own environments? Because the truth is, role models don't have to be famous. They can be your parents, your mentors, your teachers, people who have built something real quietly. But those people don't always get the same attention. And attention in today's world is what drives influence. So now we have to ask ourselves, are we choosing role models based on visibility or based on values? Because if visibility is the standard, then disappointment is inevitable. But if values are the standard, then alignment becomes intentional. At the end of the day, celebrities are human. They will make decisions you don't agree with. They will have beliefs that don't match yours. They will fall short of expectations you placed on them without their consent. And maybe the real shift isn't in changing them, but in adjusting how we see them, not as standards, but as individuals, not as perfection, but as people. So let me leave you with this. Before you place someone on a pedestal, ask yourself, am I admiring their talent or assigning them responsibility they never asked for? Because admiration is healthy, but expectation without reality will always lead to disappointment. Thank you for sitting in the bowl with me. Now let's come back up to the surface, decompress, reflect, and ask yourself, are you inspired by what you see, or are you expecting more than what was ever promised? Until next time, stay classy, stay curious, stay ever evolving. You can listen to The Fishbowl with Jade on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcast. Search Jade Mills.